Man is something that must be overcome. Friedrich Nietzsche. Chapter 1. Introduction. The Invisible Pressure. Have you ever felt the pressure? That silent force that pushes you towards the average, towards the common, towards what is acceptable? Whether in your opinions, your life choices, or even the way you think and feel, there is a relentless collective voice that whispers, "Don't stand out. Don't be different. Be like everyone else." This pressure is powerful. It promises us security, acceptance, and a life without friction. But what if that promise were an illusion? What if the pursuit of being like everyone else was trapping you? And what if true freedom and your greatest strength lay precisely in the place most people fear? In the courage to be radically different. This is the brutal question that Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher with a hammer, threw into the world. He forced us to confront a fundamental choice. Are you part of the herd, blindly following imposed morals and values? Or do you have the audacity to be a genius, an individual who creates their own path and their own values, shocking the masses in the process? Today, we will delve into Nietzsche's relentless critique of herd morality. You will understand why conformity is a trap, why solitude can be your greatest ally, and how the courage to be different is the only way to activate your will to power and become who you truly are, the Overman, Uberman. Prepare yourself, for what you are about to hear can free you forever from the invisible chains of mediocrity. Chapter 2. Conformity and the Trap of the Herd. For Nietzsche, herd morality is the morality of mediocrity. It was created by the weak to control the strong, by the sick to limit the healthy. Its pillars are security, equality, which levels down, excessive compassion, and conformity. It teaches us to value submission, obedience, and a life without risks. Think of how many times you've caught yourself not expressing an authentic opinion for fear of judgment, following trends or fashions that don't truly represent you, seeking the approval of others to feel validated, avoiding innovation or the untraveled path so as not to shock the system. The herd trap is insidious. It promises peace and acceptance, but delivers a dull existence where individuality is stifled. It convinces us that being normal is the ideal, when, in reality, being normal is merely being another grain of sand on the beach, without mark, without distinction. Nietzsche saw massification as a disease of the soul. When the will to power, the innate impulse to grow and expand, is denied and repressed in favor of conformity, it turns inward, generating resentment, passive nihilism, and deep dissatisfaction. The security of the herd is in fact a gilded cage that prevents your true flourishing. Reflection exercise, identifying the herd in you. Take a moment to think. In what areas of your life do you feel you are playing it safe or conforming just to please others or avoid conflict? Think about opinions, career, relationships, lifestyle. What would be the real cost of being 100% authentic in those areas? Chapter 3. The Courage to be Different, the Free Spirit. Against herd morality, Nietzsche proposes the ideal of the free spirit. This is not the rebel without a cause, or the anarchist. It is the individual who possesses the intellectual and existential courage to question all certainties, to subvert inherited values, and to think for themselves regardless of what the masses think or expect. The free spirit knows that truth is not a dogma to be followed, but a perspective to be created. They embrace the complexity, ambiguity, and discomfort that come with originality. They do not fear the solitude that accompanies being misunderstood by the majority. The will to power in this individual manifests as an inexhaustible creative force. They are not content with what is given. They seek what can be, what can be created through them. They experiment, they err, they learn, and they constantly overcome themselves. Every challenge, every criticism, every moment of incomprehension from the herd only serves to strengthen their conviction and polish their uniqueness. Think of the great innovators, the artists who shocked their time, the thinkers who challenged the status quo. They did not ask permission to be different. They were. And by being so, they expanded the boundaries of what was possible for all humanity. They did not bow to the herd. They led a new pack, or simply trod a solitary path that in time opened new landscapes. Courage exercise, affirming your uniqueness. Think of a recent situation where you felt pressured to conform, but your intuition or genuine desire pointed to something different. What would you do or say if there were no fear of judgment or exclusion? What would be the smallest step you could take today to express that authenticity, even if it's uncomfortable? What kind of strength would that action generate within you? Freedom begins with a single step of courage. Chapter 4. The Necessary Solitude and the Creation of New Values. Being a free spirit comes with a cost. Solitude. But for Nietzsche, this is not a solitude of despair, but a necessary solitude for creation. It is the solitude of the mountaineer who climbs peaks where few dare to go. Up there, the air is thin, the landscape is grand, but company is scarce. This solitude is the space where you can truly hear your own voice, without the constant noise of the opinions and expectations of the herd. It is the laboratory where you forge your own values, without the need for external validation. You become a legislator for yourself, a creator of new morals, which may or may not be understood by those who remain in the valley. The Overman, Ubermensch, is the culmination of this process. They are not a figure to be copied, but an ideal to be aspired to. They are the individual who has transcended the limitations of common humanity, and who, in their creative solitude, has forged a new set of values and a new meaning for existence, a meaning they themselves have given, not received. They dance instead of following the rhythm. They sculpt their own essence instead of molding themselves. They affirm life in its totality, with all its tragedies and triumphs, because they have lived it on their own terms. And by doing so, they expand the possibilities for all humanity, even if the herd, initially, receives them with incomprehension or hostility. Solitude, then, is not a punishment, but a privilege. It is the price of your radical authenticity, the price of being a creator. Engagement strategy. Embracing your creative solitude. Commit to a weekly date with yourself. 1 hour without distractions. No phone, no internet, no other people. Use that time to write, reflect, or simply sit in silence and observe your own thoughts. What emerges when the noise of the external world quiets down? What original values or ideas begin to appear? Cultivating this solitude is cultivating the soil for your greatness. Chapter 5. Conclusion. The Awakening of the Self-Creator. So, the next time the pressure to conform is strong and the fear of being different assaults you, remember Nietzsche's challenging voice. You were not born to be part of the herd. You are called to be a free spirit, an individual who questions, creates, and overcomes. Embracing the courage to be different is the only way to activate your will to power and become the Overman in your own life. The solitude this may bring is not a burden, but a sanctuary for your creation. Life does not ask you to fit in, it invites you to transcend. If this message has resonated with you, if you are ready to embrace your uniqueness and shock the masses with your authenticity, write in the comments, "I am a free spirit." Share this video with someone who needs the courage to be different. And, of course, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell icon to continue challenging your thinking and building a life with unshakable authenticity in the Master's way. Life awaits your most authentic yes. The moment is now. Are you ready to be the exception and not the rule?